Alright guys, today we're going to do a little bit of a different video. I've tried to do some fancy things here. I've got my main camera here and my other little camera here so you guys can watch what I'm doing. But what I wanted to talk about is Euro cars, and I really feel like I've changed my mind. And going into this, I have absolutely no script currently. This is going to be completely off the cuff and genuine. But I am in an Audi S4, and this car is really, really cool. This is one from the late 90s, and actually twin turbo V6, really properly quick car. And oh, sorry guys, I'm just trying to close that. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about is I've actually always held the view, and I do stand by it. The Euro cars, I don't know, they're just not for me. But I gotta be honest, I've been having this Audi, I've had that Bentley last week, on loan of course, and I don't know, they're winning me over a little bit, a lot more than I expected. I know that it's a bit of a holiday romance because I'm not paying for maintenance, I'm not paying for anything like that, so I'm not seeing any of the downsides. So I can 100% understand the appeal for this car. I mean, this car that I'm sitting in is the same age as a VS Commodore, right? But man, this thing drives like a car from 2012, 2013. This car drives like something from 2012, 2013. There is absolutely no hint that this car is as old as it. And so I have to be honest, I can see the appeal. It drives so nice and smooth. It is so fast, and yeah, I get it. I do get why people buy these cars. I guess when I've talked about them poorly in the past, I was even on news.com.au talking about it, it's probably more towards the newer ones than this car, more towards the 2010 onwards. I'm not a fan at all when they're using plastic stuff and plastic intake manifolds and plastic radiators or whatever, things like that, plastic thermostat housing, things that they know are going to break. They're not stupid, they know that it's not good enough, but they do it anyway to make money. And they're not cheap cars, and that is what I don't like about them, is that they are made to make shareholders happy and to make the people who buy the car on the lease for the first few years, they're happy, the banks are happy, the shareholders are happy. But when your normal person buys it a few years later, they are not happy, and that's what sucks. That is what I'm not a fan of, because really, if you can't afford these cars new, you can't afford to maintain them. And that's a saying that I've read a lot in the comments of all of my videos, and I 100% agree with that. I cannot, look, maybe this Audi, but I certainly could not maintain that Bentley. Even if I somehow was able to buy it, it's quite an old one. There's no way that I could pay for stuff for it, and it's all stuff that's expensive just because it's a Bentley, or because it's an Audi or whatever. The Audi's a little bit less so because they share so many parts with other cars. So let's talk about the positives of these. Well, one thing that I think is really cool is the styling, and actually I'm not a big fan of the newer stuff, but the older stuff, the styling just ages so well. Honestly, like, they just age so nicely. Sorry, this car is just so much fun to drive. You guys don't know, this is a Audi S4. You guys don't know, this is an Audi S4 Avant. So 6-speed manual, twin turbo V6, late 90s, and this one's, God, it's just such a quick car. I have done a video on it and all that. Unfortunately, I'm dropping it back today. Actually, I'm driving now to drop it off. But it's a great car. It's really nice and smooth, and even the Bentley that I had that car was really, really cool. And everyone thinks that you've got proper money when you're driving that, and I did like that, if I'm honest. I shouldn't admit that, but I do. I did like that feeling that everyone looks at you and things like that. Just being honest, I did like that. And that car was really cool. It felt expensive, and it's one of those ones where someone who isn't into cars at all, my mum or, you know, my partner, my girlfriend, she looks at that and she goes, she knows that's an expensive car. Where a lot of the cars that I have on the channel, car blokes know them, I know them, like a VS GTS or VS GTSR, but my mum's not going to look at a VS GTS and go, "Whoa, that's a nice car." I mean, she wouldn't even give it a second look. So that is what's cool about European stuff, is they hold on to that feeling of, you know, oh man, this is an expensive car, even long after they're out, even when they're the same value as like a second-hand Hilux. So that is pretty cool. They definitely make a statement, and yeah, I don't know. I'm really open to driving Euro stuff, but again, the newer stuff, I don't know whether I'm just crazy, and I don't know if I don't think I'd ever own one, because I don't agree, even if I could afford one, which I can't, but even if I could, I don't know if I agree with just the ethos of them being made. Like, you know, they're just made to make $1. They've got fancy things going on, like color changing paint and all that stuff, but then they got plastic thermostat housings and, you know, stuff that breaks after 10 minutes. You know, and then they charge you a huge amount for it. Yeah, you know, but there is no denying that, you know, those cars, I was actually in a Porsche 911 GT3 RS the other day. There's no denying that they are special, and they do feel special when you're in them. They feel properly expensive, and I don't think Holden or Ford has ever quite captured that in the same way that the European cars have. And I mean, like I'm lucky enough that I get to drive a lot of cars, and I absolutely love them. You know, VZSSs and VNs and VLs and VKs, and with some very, very few exceptions, they feel pretty much the same as one another. There are some exceptions, but they're not that different. But then you get out, and I'm in like this. So I'm in this Audi, and like this car feels way better than a VS wagon. I'd probably still prefer the VS wagon than this car, but that's the truth. It drives so nice. If you maybe not close your eyes, but if you pretend that you know, I can't see what I'm driving like this, you would think you're driving a brand new car. Like it drives phenomenal, and the VS does not. But again, I think I'd still pick the VS or the Falcon or a Toyota, because if you're relying on those cars, I think that's more important. And, you know, seeing you guys are people that, how do I say this? It is clear that a lot of people that lend me these Euro cars, money is not as big of a concern to them as maybe it is to me, if you get what I'm trying to say. They're not struggling. And I think that, you know, when you're in a position like that, where money doesn't really matter, then I think Euro cars are cool. If you're going to easily afford to maintain them, then I would give them a crack. And again, I'm lucky enough that I get to drive them. They're so different than anything that I'm used to. So you probably will see me having these on the channel because I'm interested in them. They are so different, but I'm not going to be doing new Euro stuff and things like that. But old school Euros, Beetle, or, you know, that kind of stuff, I am 1000% interested in cars like that. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the whole video. I just wanted to give a quick thought. You know, unfortunately my filming was cancelled today because the car broke down that I was going to go film. It wasn't a Euro, it was a Japanese car, which is really rare. And I just wanted to, you know, make a video and talk about what's going on. So yeah, there will be, you know, there's still obviously going to be a huge focus on Holdens on the channel, but you know, I'm just making this up. I'd say probably 10-15% of the cars I'm not going to be holding. And that is, you know, keep things fresh, keep things interesting, not just for you guys, but for me. As much as I love VN to VS Commodores, how many videos can I really make about VN V6 Commodores? I love them. I love them more than anything, and I'm not getting rid of them, and I will continue to do videos on them. But I'm sure you guys would agree you'd rather watch a little bit of something else. So yeah, look, that's about it. And if you guys have, actually before I mention that, I have to say I really thank you guys. You guys have been buying my merch like crazy. If you guys don't know, I got shedshirts.com.au, license holding merchandise, and I'm really, at the start of next year, I really want to work on that and improve it. But you guys have still been, you know, buying stuff flat out and supporting me, and that is insane, because, you know, you guys are allowing me to do this kind of stuff and bring you guys videos about cars, about our Aussie motoring culture. So I really thank you for that. But even if you haven't been doing that, that is 1000% fine. Just, you know, helping, watching, subscribing, sharing, all of that stuff is more than enough. So I really appreciate your time and your energy and everything that you guys have been doing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little, you know, sort of relaxed video, and thank you for watching.